Welcome to the Zentangle Project Pack Series. This lesson is part of Project Pack 4. My name is Rick.
Hi, I'm Maria, and this is Project Pack 4 is designed around a specific project we're calling the Zentangle Spinner. We're using our annual 12 Days of Zentangle series to share 12 consecutive days of lessons with you to guide you along in filling the spinner with tangles.
Today is the third day in the series, but if you're watching these after they're posted, you can easily do the lessons out of order.
Yep, doesn't matter. I'm doing starting out this wedge with the tangle floors, and it's a really simple tangle of a basic checkerboard grid, and adding some little diamond shapes in the corners where the lines meet. And I'm just sort of auraing the insides of these little squares, adding a little detail. This is actually our kitchen floor, so it was a basic, one of our first tangles. But
Yeah.
it comes from every...
Yeah, we were just looking around the house and like, okay, well, here's a pattern, here's a pattern.
Yeah, things were really simple back then. But it was effective, and it's something it's a great beginner tangle. And now I'm going to a tangle called festoon, and I, for the life of me, can't remember why we called it that. I just know that I always liked that word. It's kind of a fun word.
Or it might have been one of the ones that Martha named.
Oh, maybe, yeah. So we start with some random dots, some a little bigger than others, and I'm going around these dots with these beautiful ovals, going in and around and behind in like a hollabaugh fashion, and filling up the space. I don't know what my influence on designing this was, but because it's so long ago. And so I'm going to add some dots here and there.
So you're able to add dots, or even if you had a dot, you could ignore it.
Right. I love that.
They can go off the edge.
And now we're going to send some lines from the dot to the border, and just go around, and you can see that I'm going to kind of giving it a little curve to give it a three-dimensional look, so that it's, those little ovals are maybe an inch thick, right?
And you'll notice that she's adding a little bit of pressure as she gets to the outside. So towards the inside, the stroke is very, very light. And then as she gets to the edge, she's pushing on the pen a little bit more.
I sort of do that automatically. Sometimes I don't think of it. But you can see that it adds some design.
Nice texture, nice color. So you can, explore the edge of tolerance with these pens.
Right. So it's sort of floral, but it isn't. Kind of cool. Nice. Oh, I must need a little bit more here.
That's typical Maria. It's like you think it's done, but no, it's not. And that's one of the advantages, is just to step back and look at it, and maybe hold it at a different distance, and decide, okay, well, I'm going to have a little bit more.
So it's sort of textural. You can make it textural, and maybe the way it's shaded and stuff, depending on what else you're going to be doing on your tile.
But she's filling in the background spaces, and see how more dramatic that makes that
It's kind of
presentation.
pretty, huh?
Yeah.
But I'm not being as exact on the background. It's kind of a little bit sketchy. So this is a tangle called Wadical, Wadical, and it's one of our first tangles on, very, very simple. And it's just a matter of going up and down as a texture. And there's some really cool things you can do with this. And again, it's a great beginner's tangle. And I'm doing half of it that way, and I'm going to turn my tile a little bit and do it with a little bit of an angle.
And again, notice the downstroke is a little bit heavier than the upstroke.
Right. That again comes from my calligraphic days. I just sort of do that automatically. So that's kind of cool, huh? So now we're going to fill this section with Tripoli, one of my all-time favorite.
And these are three-sided shapes, so hence the name Tripoli for a three-sided polygon.
Yeah, we're not concerned about it being really straight or edges being too pointy, but like you said, a three-sided thing.
And
we're filling this whole space with it.
the combined space, yeah. And our daughter Molly teaches this often, and she has a great technique that I think helps people with this tangle, and that is you put down a line instead of thinking of putting down a triangle. First you put down one line, then you put down another, then you connect them. And that first line maintains that regular space, one line from the other. So it's essentially auraing it and then putting the other two lines to construct a three-sided
So
shape.
don't be worried and thinking triangle. Just be worried thinking aura.
Or
aura.
just think aura.
Or just think aura, right. But that makes all the difference. So I'm putting sort of a curved line, almost like that thing you did for the diva dance, right? It almost looks like that. And if we're going to do this in each of the triangular shapes or the three-sided shapes, adding some drama, it's kind of fun. There's so many things you can do with Tripoli. This is a real basic one.
And again, if you go where we introduced it, we offer in the newsletter all sorts of options, and you can see the meta shapes that occur with each triangle next to the other.
You also go into the primer.
Yes.
The primer has many triangular fragments
In
that you can go.
In the reticular and fragment section.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the reticular and fragments book now that we have,
right.
which
right.
is really fun. This is cool. I love that.
Right.
It sort of kind of looks like it's sticking out, coming at you. One of my favorite all time.
Just the addition of that really changes the character of that. It's amazing.
So I'm going to take my pencil now, and on the floors, I'm just going to go around the edges as opposed to each of the tiles there. But that gives it some depth. And on the festoon, I'm going to add some shades of gray where I think that depth is on each one of those shapes. Just a little bit. Doesn't need much because there's a lot going on there.
It really makes a difference. It's beautiful.
On the Wadical, I'm just going to do the bottom section and add a little bit of gray there and let the top part stay white. Now on the Tripoli, I often do the centers where the triangles come together. I think that's kind of a neat tufting thing that goes, and it gives it a whole different look than you expect.
And actually, if you go to the newsletter where we introduced that, there's an optical illusion that happens when lines come together in that way, and that shading that she's doing sort of reinforces that optical illusion.
It's so cool. You're not even seeing triangles anymore. You're seeing anything but.
Right. You're seeing the meta shapes.
Right. Very cool. This was
Nice.
fun. Nice.
Yeah, I can't wait to see these all together. It's going to be neat.
Oh, look, I'm adding white.
Yeah. So if you do have some white chalk, this is a real cool thing. And even though it's white paper, where there's a lot of ink, you can go over it like that, and just that extra little highlight. Sweet.
So thanks for tangling with us.
And we're going to go on to day 4, and can't wait to share all of these with you, and then to see what you all do. And we look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Bye.